Alrighty. We got the buy now, pay later trap explained from Grant Rudo? Rudell. Hopefully I said that right. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry if I said wrong. Okay. Buy now, pay later. Let me see.
Why is paying for so addictive?
I literally once financed a bottle of body wash.
What?
You know what? I'm gonna afterpay this. It's gonna make me feel less guilty to pay it in 4 installments of $81 or whatever.
That's like having
Damn.
a black American Express to me. I can use it anywhere, anytime I get ready.
I'm using Klarna.
So, I didn't know this was actually a thing. I get, so I understand the point of, like, it's like a synonymous word of the function or the action of taking a one big payment. Well, big is like relative, and then chopping it up into smaller payments. And then the synonyms are like, I guess, pay in for or finance. I mean, I really wish we could like come to like a little agreement of like a singular word that was like more universal instead of like a bunch of different words that just mean the same thing. I mean, whatever. I mean, there have been like some things I have like chopped up payments. I mean, I have like car payments. I like my bed right there. It's not like a cheap bed. It was a very good bed. I had to finance that, but it wasn't enforced. Other than that, I'm trying to think about like some other things that I like chopped up the payments or like financed. Probably not much. Like even this like nice computer setup I have. I mean, all the parts for the computers or yeah, all the parts for the PCs like I bought individually and finagled together. I don't think I finance a lot of things, but I didn't know that this was an option that more and more people are just simply choosing.
To pay for these Chris Brown tickets.
Look at this chart right here. This shows the total non-housing consumer debt in America over the last 10 years.
Total non-housing consumer debt. So consumer debt that is not a house.
And in 2024, Americans collectively owe more than $5 trillion, which is enough to pay for every NFL, NBA, and MLB team 10 times over. And to make
But like, yeah, that's a stat, but like, who's included in that? If you're talking about like, are all the like richest people in the world included in that? Well then, if that's the case, then there's probably like only a couple people responsible for a lot of that consumer debt. I mean, that's like a big old vague statistic. I mean, whatever. I mean, we'll just roll with it.
matters worse, we are constantly surrounded by psychological tricks and hidden fees to drive us further and further into debt. The worst of these tricks, the buy now, pay later programs that have been designed to take advantage of young adults.
So when you buy $100 pair of shoes and you only have to pay $25 that day, and then the pair of shoes show up at my apartment 3 days later, the shoes are $25. Why do I care if in 2 months I have to pay another $25? I don't know me 2 months from now. She can deal with that.
Buy now, pay later is a short-term financing option that is...
Yeah, but like, isn't there like interest fees for doing the finance thing, right? Even if it's like a small percent. I mean, she used the example of like $100, 25, 25, 25, 25. But like, I don't think it's ever like that where there's like zero interest. Is there? Maybe there is. Or maybe, I mean, I'm bad at math, but like, isn't like, if you chop up the payments, isn't there like some degree of interest payment? And then going off of that, it's like, it's always going to cost you more in the, you know, the long term, even if it's only 4 payments or whatever. Versus just buying the item outright.
offered by companies like Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay. You'll typically see these options pop up on e-commerce stores, offering you the ability to buy what you want today while deferring your payment over a certain number of installments. So if you're looking to buy a new suitcase for a trip you have coming up and it's going to cost you $300, instead of paying that all today, you can buy the suitcase today and then split the $300 across.
Pay in installment. Wait, what was that? Can I do some math? Could I be so bold as to do some math? Okay, so $295, total $295. No, what the? Get that out of there. No, not a snip. Jesus. Paint. Okay, so we got like 295 is like the total. And then
Paying that all today, you could buy the suitcase today.
Pay in installments starting at $79.84 every 2 weeks with no interest. What? There's no interest. Okay. So wait. Let me see. Calculator. 79.84. Let's just do times 2 equals 159. Okay, plus 79.84 equals, okay, so we're at 3 payments plus 79.84 equals, wait, 319. 319 is not 295. So where was that? How are we not? Did I miss something? Every 2 weeks with no, is that what that slash means? Every 2 weeks? I mean, that's four payments of 79.84. But that total is 319. So like, where did this extra 319 minus 295 equals? Where did this extra 2436 come from? Or are the subsequent payments get less? I'm just confused. This seems like a scam. But no, I don't want to say my word. Get out of here.
And then split the $300 across 4 equal interest-free payments.
And that's exactly where they make their money, is like that little like 5-10% that you're like, I guess it's just tax or whatever. It's like 0.2% of like service fees, convenience fees, and it's not interest. They can't say it's interest. It's just they slap another word, convenience fee, service fee, whatever. That's what it feels like. I don't know what it actually is, but it's like, I just did the math.
And you might think, great, interest free. I can just sign up for these payments and then worry about paying it sometime later down the road. But it's not quite that simple. These buy now, pay later programs aren't necessarily groundbreaking financial technology. In fact, buy now, pay later programs are kind of a newer, modernized version of the old school layaway programs that you would see at stores like Kmart and Sears. These layaway programs.
I used to beg my mom all the time to buy, like, for Christmas, like, ooh, do a layaway of the next console that's coming out, Mom. Come on, let's do it. And I think one time she did it, and I forgot what console. I think it was like a PS2 or like an Xbox. She actually did it for. And setting up a payment plan for this thing, and I'm like, Jesus, I was such a little shit as a kid, dude. I can't believe I was like pestering my mom to do that. Like, I feel like a shitbag now. She's like, layaway. Ugh.
Allowed you to place a deposit on an item like a dishwasher, for example. And then the store would reserve that dishwasher for you to collect once you had paid off the dishwasher through their installment plan. But these layaway programs kind of fell off throughout much of the mid 20th century, mainly due to the introduction of credit cards and revolving lines of credit. Instead of using a layaway program and waiting to collect their item, people could just swipe a credit card, get their item today, and then worry about paying off that over the next couple months or years. The only problem is that a credit card will incur interest. People realize that that if they didn't pay their credit card down on time, they would end up owing more than they initially spent on the item. So along came the modern marvel that is buy now, pay later, which gave you the best of both worlds. Get your product today, pay it off over a longer period of time, all while doing it interest-free. And that idea began hooking people in, because buy now, pay later has seen some explosive growth over the last 5 years, going from $2 billion in transaction volume in 2019 to $24.2 billion in 2021. And it's projected to reach as high as $122 billion in 2025. But this explosion wasn't just happening in a vacuum. It's actually part of 3 major cultural shifts that we've been seeing. First is the financialization of everything, meaning we've moved from a completely cash-based society to a society in which we look at even a $5 coffee as an opportunity to finance the transaction. Second,
bro, that's insane. Financing a $5 coffee. Am I just the boomer for not like engaging with it? I just got like my regular bank card, like debit card, and just pay with shit off of that. Jesus. What? I am just simply like in the fog on this one.
we have the rise of social media driven consumption. As influencers showcase luxury lifestyle and products, buy now, pay later allows the average consumer the ability to experience those same things without actually incurring the cost today. And third, we have the post-pandemic spending boom, which has consumers using buy now, pay later as a form of revenge spending or buying things they feel like they missed out on during the pandemic. Combined
revenge spending, buying stuff they missed out on during the pandemic. What, like food or like knickknacks? What are we talking about? Like, what do you mean revenge spending? Where did this term come up from?
all of that with a declining financial literacy among most young adults, and you have
Oh, that's a big one right there. That's a big bullet point. I agree with them. The growing financial ineptitude. And I throw myself also in this category, although I'm trying not to be a financial dumbass, but I still kind of am sometimes. I mean, let's face it, a lot of time. I mean, whatever. I mean, I think I would describe myself as like someone who's like pretty frugal. I try not to like I have my vices and hobbies that I spend money on that I know I probably shouldn't. I'm not innocent by any means, but I mean, I still try to be like kind of financially conscious. I'm like, I just buying the like necessities for the most part. You know, I don't think I live a fucking lavish lifestyle or whatever, but like that's like a relative term because like to a homeless person, I'm like living the luxury life of like inside whatever this thing is. It's a home. But to like someone that has like a 3-bed, 2-bath, the home I'm in right now seems like a dump. So understandably, I mean, I get it. It's like relative. Moral of the story is don't be a financial dumbass. I get it.
Have the perfect storm to make buy now, pay later explode as a new mentality. But why is this even a problem? If they're not charging interest, how can they actually be taking advantage of me as a consumer? To answer that question,
how they make money. What's the money making profit incentivization of that company?
Need to look at the differences between buy now, pay later programs and traditional credit cards. Because on the outside, they're basically the same thing. Both financial devices allow you to buy something today that you might not necessarily be able to afford or be willing to put cash down today for. But a credit card usually involves some sort of approval process, application, review, and a credit report hit. Meanwhile, buy now, pay later programs offer an almost instantaneous approval for your purchase in the moment. Additionally, as we discussed, credit cards can accrue interest if not paid off by the end of the month. And that rate can be at crazy high rates, usually around 19 to 23%. On top of that, if you're late with your payment or you miss a payment, credit card companies can also add on late payment fees that just end up waterfalling you into insane amounts of credit card debt off of fairly simple purchases to begin with. And on the other hand, buy now, pay later offers 0% interest, which sounds great, but that all depends on if you actually pay your payments on time. If you don't, you'll be subject to late payment fees that can range anywhere from $2 to $15 per payment and going all the way up to 25% of the total value of the purchase you made initially. And with all that,
okay, so it seems like it's the function of it is like it's credit card with a little wiggle room. I take it. Okay.
That said, buy now, pay later still might sound like a perfectly good alternative to credit cards, which is
Yeah.
exactly what they want you to think. Because
Yeah.
buy now, pay later programs weren't necessarily designed to help the consumer like you or me. They were designed for stores and brands that want to sell more through their website or
Yeah.
in their stores. After all, that's why brands are willing to pay 2 to 3% more for their transaction fees to use a buy now, pay later program versus a traditional credit card process.
Oh, wait, let me hear that again. The 2 to 3%.
Brands that want to sell more through their website or in their stores. After all, that's why brands are willing to pay 2 to 3% more for their transaction fees to use a buy now, pay later program versus a traditional credit card processor.
So it's all dependent upon what forms of payment they will allow. So if they allow credit cards, you can only make your item like X amount of dollars. But if you allow this other like buy now pay later format, or for people to pay like that, you have to increase your item cost a little bit, but like you end up being able to like move more units because that's what people want to do. Okay.
To give you an example, let's look at a $100 purchase. If you bought a $100 item using a normal credit card on their site, the brand was typically going to incur about a $2.50 charge to process that payment. And on the other hand, if you were to use a buy now, pay later program, that transaction fee that the brand has to pay goes from $2.50 to about $5. But the merchant fees are just the beginning when it comes to buy now, pay later. So let's look at how these companies actually make money beyond just charging the brand that hosts them on their website. First, like we just discussed, they're going to collect that merchant fee, which is anywhere from 4 to 6% of the transaction price. Second, they profit from late fees, like we talked about earlier, which has turned out to be a pretty substantial revenue source for companies like Affirm and Klarna, because 1 in every 3 users of these buy now, pay later programs actually ends up missing a payment at least once. And third, every purchase that is made reveals something about you or your shopping habits, and these companies...
Oh, the data. That's what it is. That's the crux of it. I forgot about this one. Your data, your spending habits. Oh, Jesus. Again, with the selling of the data.
Have realized that that is very valuable information for other brands. So they actually harvest a lot of the data from your checkout pages and then sell it to other brands that can then use it in their marketing or in their ad targeting. And finally, they benefit from the sheer volume of loans being opened up by
selling loans to bigger banks,
packaging yours and everybody else's debt together and selling it to larger financial institutions. They can make money even when you pay on time. In other words, they've created a system where they win no matter what happens to you financially. So now,
yeah, it's either they win big or they win little, but either way, it's a win. I can't enjoy anything in life anymore. What the fuck?
now let's look at buying an iPhone for $1,000. When you reach the checkout page, you have 3 options. Number 1, pay the full $1,000 up front. This is the simplest, cleanest, and easiest way to get out of the checkout scotch-free. Option 2, you could use a credit card with the typical 22% APR to purchase the phone. And if you only made the minimum payments, you would end up paying about $1,480 over.
What the fuck? Bro, it's like you're paying 50% more. What the hell?
The course of 5 years, with 480 of that being the interest alone. And option number 3 is you could use Afterpay's 4-payment installment plan where you pay $250 today and then $250 every 2 weeks until the plan is paid off. Which sounds like the best deal to you? You see, brands have mastered psychological manipulation throughout their website, but
wait, what was the third option again?
Over the course of 5 years, with 480 of that being the interest alone. And option number 3 is you could use
Pay in 4 equal interest-free bi-weekly installments.
Afterpay's 4-payment installment plan where you pay $250 today and then $250 every 2 weeks until the plan is paid off. Which sounds like the best deal to you?
The third one. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I do any of that, but like just objectively, yeah, the third one.
You see, brands have mastered psychological manipulation throughout their website, but specifically on the last hurdle, which is the checkout page. And they do this through 4 key tricks. First, they exploit what psychologists call the pain of paying. By splitting the cost over a long
The pain of paying. Paying with cash is generally considered more painful than paying with credit or debit cards. This is because cash is a tangible representation of money and its loss is more immediately felt. I mean, probably. I mean, but whenever I swipe my debit card, that's probably right. Because, like, this is because cash is tangible. I mean, isn't a debit card still like a tangible representation of money? I mean, maybe not, because it's like the amount of, you have to like open up your little like bank account app or whatever and then look inside it and be like, oh, I hope there's enough money or whatever. I never really considered this pain of paying in cash. I mean, most notably because I think, I mean, I personally don't carry cash on me anymore in general. Like, I just do everything off of like the debit card or whatever. And maybe that's like a bad thing.
Longer period of time, your brain actually registers less financial pain than paying the full amount up front. Second, they trigger what is called the temporal discounting, which is our tendency to value immediate rewards more than future benefits, or otherwise known as instant
Wait, let me read that again.
pain than paying the full amount up front. Second, they trigger what is called the temporal discounting, which is our
Temporal discounting, the tendency of individuals to place less value on rewards or events that are delayed in time compared to those that are immediate. Okay, this is what I tried to be more wary of. I guess I didn't know there was a term for this, temporal discounting. Less value on stuff that you can gain over time versus compared to the immediate. I mean, that, I think that is a true statement. Most people don't think about that. I never really, I don't know, maybe I should think about that more of like,
our tendency to value immediate rewards more than future benefits, or otherwise known as instant gratification. Pay just $25 today and it's yours sounds a lot better than waiting and saving up for it. Third, they will create artificial urgency by simulating
creating a sense of immediate need or a deadline in which when it's not actually necessary. Oh yeah, like this is like all of the what's that one video of like, let's go whaling? Yeah, it's like all of these tactics and strategies are immediately apparent. Let me see. Let's go whaling.
I'm using Klarna to pay for these Chris.
What the? Jesus, what the heck happened? YouTube. Let's go whaling. Yeah, this. Yeah, this is a video that showcases all of the marketing tactics that video game, I don't know, the marketing team of video games, or at least mobile games, engage in. Hook habit, gotchas, think fast and slow, artificial urgency is like, if you go on Temu, there'll be like a bunch of random ass clocks just ticking down, giving you the sense of urgency of like, oh, come in and get in on this deal real quick before the time stops. It's like, bro, what fucking time? I'm not against the clock in any way, shape, or form. And Amazon does this too, because they'll show you like things of like there'll be like green and red letters of like only X amount left in stock. All right, so it's not like a timer, but it's like a single degree of separation away, because it's like, oh, we only got these many more items right there, so hurry up and buy it. So it's like they're trying to show you, oh, we only got this much inventory left. All right, this stuff is going like hotcakes, right? You've heard that stuff before from like old infomercial shit. Oh man, it's kind of funny because I wish I could go back. Well, maybe I could to go back and like look at all those like infomercial shits of like Billy Mays, the slap chop guy, and then like the other English dude that sold all a bunch of bullshit, and just to see like what type of things, marketing tactics and strategies they engaged in. But yeah, this is another good video.
Limited time offers in the checkout page. And finally, they use colors and shapes to direct your eye exactly where they want you to be looking. Have you ever noticed that the buy now, pay later button is often highlighted in a brighter color, and it's sometimes even pre-selected when you reach?
Oh geez, like it's because it's implying that the button has already been pressed when it's or depressed when it's like a darker shade. It's like, hey, you kind of want to click on this, right?
The checkout page. These aren't accidents. These are specific design decisions to short circuit your brain to making a financial decision more on an impulse than with rational thinking. Instead of thinking about a $100 purchase rationally and over a longer period of time, they'd rather have you just click the pay $25 now and worry about it later on. And again, this isn't necessarily a bad deal because people.
Does he have a dead pixel or do I have a dead pixel? I don't think you guys can see it, but I can see it, but whatever.
People are always looking for interest-free ways of purchasing things so that their money can go and earn them more money while they're paying off the other thing that they purchased. But to do so requires some financial education or experience. And sadly, most Americans are completely undereducated when it comes to financial literacy. So the instant gratification syndrome kicks in and they buy practically everything with buy now, pay later, with no real concern that they will in fact have to pay that off at some point.
Some point, but yeah, I had no idea this was a trend or the trend that's happening. I always thought it's like, oh, if I don't got the money for it, I guess I can't buy it. Jesus, was I wrong?
All they're worried about is the price that they will pay today, which is exactly how you end up with this.
I've done groceries. I've done all kinds of crap on Affirm.
$12.50 a month in Affirm payments. I was like, how bad could it be? Damn.
And Klarna. But it adds up, and then you are in a chokehold. And in some ways, it is worse than having credit card pay.
Like, how about stop buying? Just stop buying for a second, or like keep track on like a notepad on your phone of like the payments that you're due like every month or something. Like not even that much.
It's crazy.
Because buy now, pay later is so easy to do, people are starting to use it on more and more occasions where it's really not meant to be used. Instead of just using it on a big purchase like a new fridge or a TV, they're starting to use it on smaller things and truly financing items that have no business being financed. A crazy story that we recently saw is that Klarna is now on DoorDash.
Oh my God, you're financing random food meals, a single meal. You will finance. Holy.
Which allows you to finance your $15 burrito over 4 payments of $3.75 instead of paying the full $15 up front. Again, not a necessarily terrible thing when looked at in a vacuum, but when you expand this to consider that someone who's financing a burrito is also probably financing a lot of other things, that's when the real problem starts to arise.
Yeah, that's like a little knick-knack whatever thing. Like a piece of food, a meal. Why are you financing a meal?
Spending habits like this lead to what we call loan stacking. Pretty much what it sounds like. Taking out loan after loan after loan and stacking them on top of each other. And because buy now, pay later programs make it so easy to do so, most consumers don't even realize how much debt they're actually accruing. In fact, in 2022,
Okay, now I get it. When I ask the question, why can't you track everything? Because there's so much bullshit to track. Like if I had to track like meals on my little like notepad of like money that's due from things that I had that I bought, no, like that's too much shit. Like bills, you should probably keep track of bills, right? You should probably keep track of subscriptions, maybe like big payments of like a car, maybe a bed or something, maybe like a new I don't know, water heater, like he said, dishwasher, washer dryer, fridge, stuff like that, sure. But then when you're like financing things like little, but like food, towel, soap, toiletries, cleaners, I'm not writing like another input, like a little line for like plus $1 a month for like this like $5 soap, whatever. Like what?
3% of buy now pay later borrowers had more than one loan going at one time. And this is where it gets really scary. Because these programs are designed to offer credit with little to no approval process, it's almost like they're targeting people that don't know how to manage their money. All they see is, oh, I can buy this $1,000 thing for $250 today, and they just click buy. When in reality,
yeah, but like you still have to pay the other 750. What is this? Like a research thing?
over 69% of buy now pay later users are already in debt on another credit card, and 28% of buy now pay later borrowers are between the ages of 18 and 24 years old. Most of these people don't even understand the concept of how a credit card works, and by giving them this buy now pay later option, it's almost like they have this unlimited stream of money that never needs to actually be paid off. Again, don't get me wrong, there are definitely some advantages to the system if you know how to play it, but the vast majority of people
you should go into the advantages of the system.
Using the system are not taking advantage of it, they're just getting taken advantage of. So what do you do? As a consumer, should I completely stay away from buy now pay later, or are there some circumstances where it makes sense? And to answer that question, the most important piece of advice I can give you is to never spend more than you currently have, whether that be through a credit card or a buy now pay later option. If you don't have the cash in your bank, don't spend it. And that is
okay. I mean, that's what I do right now, pretty much.
By far the easiest way that you can keep yourself out of credit card debt. And if you feel confident in your financial abilities, feel free to use a credit card or a buy now pay later option to earn more interest on your cash while it's sitting in your account versus just spending it immediately. But if you don't feel confident about this, treat your credit cards in a buy now pay later program as if it's hooked directly up to your checking account. If you spend $100, that's $100 coming directly out of your account. Another tip I have is to avoid.
I always thought of credit cards as like, it's like if I use my credit card, because like some aspects of like financial advice come with like well, you got to know how to like use a credit card, right? So it's like if you use a credit card, and I get like multiple different like streams of advice, like you should use your credit card on like random little things, or you should only use your credit card on big things. I mean, I don't fucking know which one you use. Or like don't use your debit card, never use your debit card, and only use a credit card to pay for like little things or whatever. I don't know. Is like if I swipe with a credit card, I am paying like a multiplier on top of the price. So let's say for like an easy number of like 20%. So like if I look at like a $1 thing, and I swipe with the credit card, I'm not actually going to pay $1 with the credit card. I'm going to be paying $1.20 for that thing. It's like, why am I trying to make everything around me more expensive? Because ultimately the money's going to come out of my checking account or whatever. So it's like, why am I trying to pay more for a thing? I mean, but then the other retort to that is like, oh, it shows that you're financially responsible, and then you build up your credit or whatever so that you can apply for like a bigger credit card to buy like bigger things. All right, I get that. I mean, maybe that's like beneficial to like someone that has like a lot of money, but like if you got like no money, or you're like I don't know, 30, 40, 50K bro, like a year type of person, it's like, do you want to be doing that? Like, I don't know.
stacking these loans, because that is where things can get very messy very quickly. If you start financing weekly expenses like gas, groceries, or that Friday night Chipotle bowl, it becomes a slippery slope, because it is 100 times easier to get into debt than it is to get out of debt. But there you have it, the truth about buy now, pay later. These companies spend millions of dollars on psychological research to get you to spend more than you can actually afford. But now you know a little bit more about how to protect yourself. And if you like this video, make sure to check out this video that covers the business of Formula One and how billionaires use debt to fund their crazy hobby of racing.
Damn. That was a good video. I did not know about Grant. I am a fan. I didn't know buy now, pay later, no interest was like a thing. With like those like little apps or whatever. That's pretty interesting. This is why I've watched like a lot of these videos. So it's to keep me in the loop of society and culture, to realize what's poppin', what's popular, and all that shit. What's the vibe everyone's feeling? I was generally confused when I saw pay in 4 during a checkout at my Chipotle order. Thought, what idiot would finance a burrito? Yet, alas, here we are. What the hell? The general rule of thumb I learned from my econ teacher was, if you can't buy it twice comfortably, you can't really afford it. Ooh, that's a good little saying. If you can't buy it twice comfortably. Oh my God. So it's like 100%. So it's price times 100. No, it's price times 200%. So just X times 2. Simple, whatever. Oh my God. If you need to finance DoorDash, maybe you shouldn't be using DoorDash. True. Actually true. Like, bro, I got this one friend that like DoorDashes a lot of his like meals. I'm like, dude, you probably spend a metric shit ton on service fees, convenience fees, like beyond whatever you think. Like, oh my God. Maybe I should like ask him to do like a tally of like all the months and like add up. Like, I couldn't ask him to do that or whatever, like Jesus, because it'd probably be too revealing. I don't know if people are like willing to like pull behind the curtain and look at the man behind the curtain or whatever. They don't want to, or did I say that right? They don't want to lift up the curtain to see the man behind, right? They don't want to know the truth. They just want to keep doing what they're doing and assume it's all magic. Filing bankruptcy because you eat out too much would be wild. Surely nobody has done that yet, right? Pain of paying thing is so strange for me. If anything, it makes me feel more stressed knowing I have to worry about a loan rather than just paying the entire. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. Just paying the entire price and getting it over with. That's usually what I try to do, because I don't want to have to worry about some shit, about a stupid payment. Golden rule for finance. Ooh, what's golden rules? Never borrow for longer than the life of the asset. Ooh, okay. Borrow for a car. Makes sense as long as you intend to have the car longer than the loan. Borrow for burrito. Terrible idea. You're paying a debt on something you don't have anymore. Yeah, like you eat the burrito and then you still gotta pay for the burrito. Oh man, there's a lot of like good advice in here. It's so confusing to see the U.S. people flex their big wages, and then buying all their shit with credit like they make no money. It's not like that for like everybody, but like understandably, it feels like that when you see some like bastardizing statistics or whatever. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, that's the point of like watching some of this stuff, to just get a feel for, get a temperature, like which way's the wind blowing, that type of thing. But overall, cool video. Thank you, Grant, for showing me that. Did not know that was a thing. But yeah, keep it up, man. But that's it from me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.